Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. It has been quite a while, but we're actually going to do something different today to take a break from all the other missions, and that's basically I'm going to go through a tutorial on how to do pro missions. So there's a pro mission editor which can basically make anything you want in the game as far as what it's capable of. And it's pretty powerful. I think you could easily recreate most of the campaign missions and stuff in here, with maybe a little bit of editing outside in text files to get, you know, a couple of things you can't quite adjust in here, but it's pretty powerful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build. So the scenario is going to be as follows. We're going to have one wingman. We're going to be an F-14. We're going to be on a carrier. And we're basically going to be doing carrier qualifications. So take off, we're going to fight some targets that I'll probably put in bears and MiGs. Obviously, realistically, they'd be drones, but that's kind of like what our training simulator is going to represent here, and then we're going to circle back for a landing. So the first thing to do in a mission, or when creating a mission rather, is to decide which map you want to use. And there are a lot of maps with Fighters Anthology. We have Cuba, Egypt, Falkland Islands, France, Greece, Iraq, Pearl Islands, North Vietnam, Korea, Pakistan, Panama, Persian Gulf, Taiwan, the Baltics, Ukraine, and Vladivostok. But since this is supposed to be carrier qualifications, we'll pick the Cuba map, since then we can operate off the coast of Key West. This is really the only American map. The next thing to do is to set your weather, and you have a couple options here. Clear, cloud cover, fog, sunrise, sunset, night. We'll pick sunrise. You know, we're doing our quals nice and early in the morning. We could easily make this, you know, a nighttime qualification where we do all this stuff at night, but, you know, this is supposed to be more of a relaxing mission. And then you can set friendly and enemy sides. So if you want to... Turkey's listed as an enemy. That's funny. So here, you could go through and set who you want as an enemy, who you want as a friend, obviously. Off, basically, is friend, on is enemy. So, right now we're just going to go through and basically set it to what the US's friends are, even though none of this will really matter for us. Interesting that both Vietnams were off. Iraq is actually a friend now. I guess Libya's a friend these days. Panama, Colombia, we're kind of friends. I know we got the whole drug war thing going on. But Pakistan is an enemy because they practically are at this point. Taiwan, Greece, Turkey. Yeah. Well, with how history has been recently with Turkey, Austria, Canada, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, Argentina's not gonna do anything to anyone. So, and you can see they even have a little Bosnia-Serbia section, because that was actually pretty recent, I think, when this game came out, or ongoing even. So, and again, none of that really matters for what we're doing. We're just operating off the coast of Florida here in friendly airspace and all that. And then setting screens. So you can set all the screens you have to go through when you play this mission. You can make it so you jump right in, or, you know, in this case, we can get briefing paper, briefing map. So this is, you know, the briefing paper is just the clipboard that gives you your mission objectives and background and stuff. Briefing map is basically this view we're in now, minus the editing capabilities. Select plane lets you choose your plane from the hangar, so that way you aren't forced, or at least from the map. No, that's right, from the hangar. Yeah, so I know in some single missions we've been able to select it from the map, but this way you select it from the hangar. and you're not forced to choose whatever the mission sets for you, and the arm playing screen so you can take a different loadout if you'd like. So we'll set... Well, okay. We're not flying all aircraft? That, Alright. We're gonna... show that... Ah, okay. So you can select the era, too, of the aircraft that you wish. If you want to, you know, narrow down the time period, we're just going to, like, fly all off so we can turn this screen on. And you'll notice I turned on some, in the show menu here, you can choose to filter by stuff, you know, for easier scenario design. And so, SAM threat ranges, a distance grid. So you can see this is all this is all the little stuff that these airfields are made up of. You got the runway, you got some SAM units here, control tower, some more SAMs, hardened aircraft shelters. Most of this airfield's in the water, so that'll be interesting. So at this point, I think we're in a pretty good position that we can actually add, start adding objects. So first we will add our carrier, which will be the Eisenhower. As much as I love the Kitty Hawk, you can't beat nuclear power. Yeah, it's Eisenhower or Kitty Hawk, so. And let's see, our grid right now is, each of these squares, I think, is about 5 nautical miles, give or take. Ah! Oh. If you zoom in or out, it automatically refocuses on the unit. So we'll place the Eisenhower here, and we'll set them heading east. Obviously, they'll be manned by expert personnel because the American Navy is the best of the best. I mean. And you can, oh, yeah, so here you can set, basically, you can assign a target to a flight group or ship or whatever, if you want them to go after something specific. Obviously, I was setting their veterancy here. You can change the nationality, so if you wanted, say, a Chinese Eisenhower, you could do that. Don't know why you would, but, you know, whatever. Obviously, you can change their unit proficiency here. You can also change their basic reaction to various unit types here. So, like, it'll automatically attack fighters and bombers in range, which we want, so it can defend itself. You can tell it to search for targets at any distance or within a limited distance, and you can set mission success, too. So, in this case, we obviously want our carrier to survive, so we can set that up as a mission victory condition, so to speak. So it will be heading east. And when you have an object highlighted like this, you can go into the waypoint menu and add a waypoint. So we will add a waypoint. We don't need anything too fancy. We can just set it to... We can just set them across the map. And since we're being a carrier battle group here, we can maintain 30 knots. And right now, and you can change the different assignment too that it's performing. So in this case, you know, that automatically kind of presets these as to what it will do. So in this case, you know, normal flight, quote unquote, we're just going to, you know, let them... okay, bar cap. So that's what... And you can see it kind of default too, but... yeah, we're not doing anything crazy with our carrier, so... You know, they're just... moving along. So that's the, going to be the core of our formation, obviously. Now, our carrier is going to need some supplies, obviously, so we will have a Sacramento class fast supply ship here, following the carrier. Let's see. Trailing it by about 1 nautical mile. Now we will also set the veterancy to expert and heading east. I missed it. And it's been a while. Just seeing. Oh, can I not? So I can add these to a group. Let's make this only be so that's only for ground vehicles, but you can basically add ground vehicles to a group, which is kind of like a formation for aircraft as far as the game's concerned, and have them move together. Unfortunately, this game doesn't quite work like that for ships, which is unfortunate, but also there are no speed limiter. There aren't as many limiters as you might hope for built into this game, so if I really wanted to, I could be setting that Eisenhower to be running at 200 knots. Or 1,000 knots, which makes it really hard to catch up to even as an aircraft. Uh-oh, I don't know which is which. Still don't know which is which. Okay, so the Eisenhower is the one I moved. So we're gonna... Not that it's going to matter especially for what we're doing, but I do want to... So we're basically gonna recreate the formation here. Okay, so now we'll have the supply ship 1 mile back, and same speed. So in theory, yeah, there'll only be. We should have everyone arriving at their waypoints at roughly the same time. So with that out of the way, Next up, our carrier group, or our carrier. Getting a little ahead of myself here. It's gonna need escort, so we are going to add some Ticonderoga class cruisers here. Unfortunately, we don't have Burks to round them out, so what's the duplicate U? That's a weird one. Gotta pull my keyboard out to see where my U is. There we go. So we're gonna set him. The first one is gonna be 2 miles. We're gonna try to be about 2 miles in every direction here. Actually, I should have waited to dupe these because now I have to change all of these individually. So obviously, the Tycho, since they're actually major surface combatants, we can set to attack ships. Not that I don't think they're really armed with any. I don't know if the game considers them armed with anti-ship weaponry. I'd have to see a what the strategy guide says on that, I think. But so now we have. Oops. There we go. So now we basically have an escort. So now we gotta make waypoints for them. And we're going to kind of keep the same pattern we've been going in. And we want this one to be about a nautical mile behind the supply ship. So that probably puts them about there. Yeah, more or less. So it's a little tedious doing all this, but it'll look better in the end. And you'll notice there's an option in the waypoint menu where you can create a loop with your waypoint, and that's basically if you want to set up a constant air patrol where fighters move back and forth. Probably the easiest and best examples I can think of are stealth missions, where we constantly see those aircraft just roving back and forth in the operation area. You know, they're on a loop, essentially. Alright, so we want him... That's probably about right. Looks like he'll be reaching this a bit early. Oh, that's right. He needs to be there. That's why it's wrong. I was lining him up with the supply ship. So that's... I think I gotta bring him down a little. Yeah. That's probably close enough for government work, I think. Certainly looks pretty straight over here. So these are fixed too, by the way. You'll notice they're locked and I can't click and drag them like some of my other ships. So next up, we'll do our Northern Tycho. And you can name these. Really, the names are generally only important for multiplayer missions. For the different flight wings, or for the player's wing. Alright, so... probably set you about... there. 2155, so that's about right. I'd really like to... if we could scooch them up just a bit. Try to straighten that line. There we go. Now next we are going to... we have one more waypoint yet to make, and that's for our Eastern Tycho. It's leading the group. So we will put him up ahead. That's probably about right there. Now we're gonna cap this off with a one more, actually. Is it in this game? I didn't think so. Yeah. I was gonna possibly put a submarine in there, but I think the only submarine is the Soviet Oscar class. So we're just gonna cap this fleet off with the an Iowa class battleship here. I really hate how it just places it on the object you have selected and not like up and to the right a little bit or something. And of course, since he's a battleship, they'll just engage everything. Not that it really matters for this little showcase, so. And we'll plop his waypoint right in line with the others. So that way they can all move in sync. Yeah, so he's about there in the grand scheme of things. So there we go. We now have a carrier battle group that's doing operations. Obviously, you can do more complex stuff than simply transiting straight east like I'm doing, but this is just kind of keep things moving. Otherwise, we could be here for a day and a half, just setting up waypoints and such. So next up, let's add the player in. So first off, what we're gonna do, My only complaint is once you start zooming in, these map controls get really sensitive on the bottom. But let's add a 14 Tomcat. And this will be Splinter. So we are going to be a very expert human pilot, and we are going to add him to Blue Wing, so he will be Blue Wing leader. Now on top of that, we will have another F-14. See that? It added that to the upper right. But anyways, let's see. We'll call him Sidekick, and he will be another expert pilot. And we will add Sidekick to Blue Wing. So now we have a flight of 2 F-14s with the player and an AI partner. And what we're going to do here is, you'll see by default we start at 10,000 feet. Now if we hover him over the Ike here, I don't know what the exact threshold is, we can now change his if you set it to 0, essentially, you can see now we're heading east at ground level. We are now docked, so to speak, on the carrier. We'll probably be in the Cat 1 position, and our wingman will be behind us, waiting for takeoff. And there's a limit, I think, to how much you can feasibly put on a carrier. As we have the Cat 1 position takeoff, I don't know if the game can use the Cat 2, 3, or 4 positions. There's maybe 2 to 4 parking spots, 4 of the island, maybe 1 or 2 in front of it, and then another 2 to 3 aft, I think. So it's obviously the carriers, like I've said many times, ships aren't to scale in this game. So if I really wanted to go all out, I could add in all sorts of and maybe I will too for the second part. This is going to be at least a 2-part kind of deal. Whereas here I just kind of want to nail out some of the basics, but the next episode will be more, maybe setting up those support operations, maybe setting up, whatchamacallit, sorry, I'm blinking here. Editing text files so you can have mission briefings and stuff, because unfortunately those aren't like something you can make in game. But in any case, what we're going to do here is we are going to add a waypoint. So first off, we want to take off. Actually, let's just make it all caps. So we're just going to have a rally point up ahead. Echelon, formation, forest spacing, level stacking. Boost control, 350 knots at 5,000 feet. We'll set this to normal flight. Actually, before I get too far, let's let's set up survival effects for, or not effects, but like statuses for all of our battle group here. Okay, so we have our first waypoint. What will happen is, if we follow it, if we were to just turn on autopilot to start of the mission, we would take off and we'd climb the 5,000 feet. Now what we're going to do next is add another waypoint here, and we'll go down south some 50 miles. We'll simulate it. So we will call this start patrol, or start cap. So here we will climb to 20,000 feet. Actually, we'll climb to 30,000 feet and accelerate to 400 knots so we can get to our point. And we'll set this to a bar cap, so we'll attack fighters and bombers. Then, what we will do is add another waypoint. Actually, let's set this more out here. There we go. So here we can see we're still at 30,000 feet. I'm really horrible at making things straight, but it's partly the game's fault. That's why I always turn on this grid, because then I can align things to the grid. So in this case, we'll align it here and there. That's a little more coherent, at least. So again, we will be on the bar cap mission here, you know, and our wingman he'll obviously follow our lead, but he'll be set to, if an AI were doing this, they would automatically attack any fighters or bombers that they see. Search for targets within 100 miles. Yeah, you can see they automatically limit to 25 miles. But we have more range than that. We can hit out to 100 miles. So then, after that, we'll want to egress. I don't think I ever changed this to... There. We'll set that to bar cap. And we'll set this to egress. And we're going to drop here to 20,000 knots at 350 or 20,000 feet. And likewise, this we're actually going to drop down the 350 knots here for improved fuel efficiency and time on station. So, getting to, I like here where it basically, if you follow the you know, the altitude and speed that you set out in the waypoints, it'll give you an ETA of about how long it should take you. So you'll see here, getting to this waypoint, provided we don't break off for combat, would take 60 minutes if we just let the autopilot do its thing. Now we are going to set another waypoint here, which this is a little tricky. I can't wait to see how the game handles it with our fleet moving. But this waypoint we're going to call RTB, and we're going to drop down to 10,000 feet at, we'll keep it at 350 knots. And in this case, we're back to normal flight. And then we can set one more waypoint. Oops. Waypoint, not object. And again, by placing this over the Eisenhower, we can set this to ground level. And it will recognize that we are supposed to be landing. So we'll call this landing. Yep, and you can see here until landing at waypoint, so it recognizes what we're trying to do. So now we have kind of a patrol set out for our main flight here. And we got waypoint names to help the player in flight understand, you know, what's expected of them, what they're supposed to be doing. So now we need our opposition. So what we're going to set up here is, what do we want to do? What do we got to work with here? Backfires, bears, blackjacks. I'm not really impressed. Man, what I really want is badgers, but and it's kind of surprising the game doesn't have it, but if that's the case, yeah, you know what? We'll put in backfires. So we're going to make these Chinese backfires. Flown by... He'll be flown by Chang. We'll set him to 40,000 feet. And mission success only if object is destroyed. There we go. Now we got some duplicates working out for us here. So you will be Wang. Let's see. Yep, okay, so they inherited the mission success. What to call the other ones, though? Bang. And Wei. Insert Wong Wei joke here. So we are going to add this guy to Red Wing. And this makes it easier to control because then we aren't having to make a bunch of different waypoints for these guys. Okay, so their assigned target. We can set an assigned target. And we're going to set up... These guys, we can make it simple. We'll just set up a simple waypoint here. And we'll have them on anti-ship duty. And obviously, of course, they're going to go for... it's going to be real hard now with all the clutter. Oh. No, other way. There we go. There. We will set their target as the Eisenhower. So we'll have them flying in at 400 knots. Bar spacing, level stacking, boost control. We'll have them in line astern formation though. So, yep, that's part of the waypoints and stuff. You can change formation here. Your spacing. Bar spacing, level stacking. Medium control. Yeah, so the waypoint then dictates their objective. And I'm not, should be all we need to get them in the game. So then, escorting them, let's have... We'll have flankers to kind of represent, what is it, the J16, J15, J whatever, J11. I can't keep them straight. But that's on me. I mean, that's no different than, you know, F-16, F-18, F-22. It's just, I grew up with one and not the other, you know? But anyways, we'll have a flight of 3 flankers here. What shall we call them? Ching, Chong, Ong. I know I'm being very politically incorrect with these names, but honestly, I just don't feel like being creative. I mean, ideally what you would do is you'd look up, you'd have some sort of naming scheme. Like, you'd look up, say, Chinese names for birds, and then you'd give each pilot, you know, a call sign like that. Or even just, like, take American call signs, which are normally just nonsense, and translate them into Chinese. But again, I'm being quick and lazy here, so I don't mean to be racist or offensive, but just trying to make this. So what these guys are going to do, we're going to add them to Orange Wing. Let's see, these guys were going north of 40,000. So these guys will be flying ahead of the what did I give them? The backfires. There we go. Words are failing me. So we'll have them ahead. We're going to again add a single waypoint. And they're going to be on a similar mission. They're going to search for enemy aircraft and attempt to destroy them to kind of clear the path for them. Actually, this I want to... Okay, search for targets at any distance. I do want to pull these waypoints up a little bit. There we go. So in this case, we'll give it echelon formation, far spacing, something more... There we go. So these guys will then automatically attack us. Because it'll take them 9 minutes to get there. Oh darn, I gotta move them further away. Okay, so you guys are going to be coming from Cuba now. Just because I need a little more time to kind of make things work out as far as waypoint times go. Yeah, because we have about 13 minutes to the end of our patrol. And they'll be there in 11. Even that's... So they're still too close. But we have all that form-up time and stuff that we're doing. So we'll move them back even further. And that should be good enough that I don't think there's a need to check. So at this point, we can go through the menu, see if there's anything we have left to do. These, you can set generic skills here. These kind of just set the defaults, I believe, for the faction, and they are overridden by whatever you set for a particular unit. And it looks like there's some options for multiplayer here. If you wanted to make a multiplayer scenario, I won't demo that, at least not yet, because I think these just set... okay, yeah. So you can just set, multiplayer victory conditions. Like, oh, if someone gets 100 kills, mission over, they win. Number of revives they get. So that's just some basic settings. So I think overall what we have looks good. So we'll call this day car qual. Oh, character limit. The car qual. There we go. Apparently we have a character limit of 8 characters, which is not great, but that's just really the file name and the name that will pop up in single missions. So, and with that, our scenario is saved, so now we can go and test our scenario. So now this is basically, oops, I don't want to exit to Windows. So now, well, obviously we could test it right within the scenario there, but we can also go to the single mission menu, and this is where it's stored by default. Obviously, it takes a little more work to make like a campaign out of it, but oh, where is it? There it is, the car qual. So there's our mission. This stuff fills in if you fill in kind of the text files and stuff, which again we'll do on the next episode of this. So Did I select the right thing? I'm not sure if I selected the right thing. It's like, there shouldn't be a briefing for this. Huh. It's... okay, that's new. I've never had that before. Normally it's supposed to just bring up your mission. I don't know why it's not. So I guess we'll just go back to here. There's got to be a bug or something that I got to work out, but we'll just run it from this screen. So, okay, it's skipping the briefing text screen right now because we don't have a briefing text screen associated with it. So this is the map. You can't move, like, for example, I just tried to move the carrier waypoint. You can't do that. Oh, it's Tycho. But you still, of course, can move your own waypoints, just like in any of the other missions we've done. We can select our aircraft here. We can't change our nationality, obviously. We can change our aircraft from the menu. Just gives a pop-up there. Otherwise... oh, it doesn't give us a hangar screen. That's weird. I thought it did, but maybe that's another toggle or something. But in any case, you can at least select it from the map like we've done before. So in this case, we're just going to load out with our fictional F-14 AST-21 2020 loadout here. And, let's test our mission. So you can... okay, so... well, give me a second here. There we go. I have my joystick unplugged just because it interferes with other games, but you can see we've got things mostly worked out. The eye was a little derpy. I might have forgotten to set them to go eastbound at start. And honestly, the spacing here isn't great, but... but now we can enable our waypoints. And you can see our wingman is following us, and he'll catch up.
Waypoint Bravo, bearing 121, climb to Angel 30, contact your green clock high, 77 miles, please advise.
And you can see he's already got the enemy in his sights. We're going to follow our waypoints still, and I think okay. I feel like we may have been below stall speed there, but there we can see hostiles. So we're actually... I probably should move them back even further if they're within 50 miles already. So, you know, this is good. They're already attacking us. Okay, we definitely need more power here. So we can see as far as their threat goes. I see dive bomb acquiring. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. So we're going to start by hitting the bombers, because that's what we do. That's Chang. And I'd like to get a little... there we go. Now we're getting a little more discrimination. Chang Wei.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we got a good hit. Alright, we'll, obviously one's not enough to kill him. We'll set our wingman to attack bandits. He is free to engage now. Okay, we are now above these guys, because they're trying to dive bomb something. I don't know why, so that'll be, something to check out. But we have our jammers engaged now. It says it's... yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Because he's dive bomb acquiring us.
Apex inbound, drop down. Black one, backfire, good hit.
There we go.
Black one, flanker. Apex inbound, drop down.
We got one flanker.
1 o'clock high.
There we go. They are giving us quite a few missiles here. Almost. There we go. This guy's up high, so I don't know what the fuck that one guy's problem was.
Apex inbound, drop down.
Ah, damn it.
Apex inbound,
He got us.
drop down. Eco inbound, drop flare.
Ow. Oh. That was really unfortunate, but you could see here that, okay, we destroyed apparently 3 of the 4 backfires and protected all of our targets. So almost a success. But our wingman was taking hits, which makes me just want to do it again. I'm not... Actually, I do want to see... Was that the problem? Ah, yes, that was the problem. So let's at least change something here. We did get some useful information. There. Now they are heading east. And we can pull these guys back even further because they are just fucking booking it. Which goes to show why you need a Tomcat or something like it. There we go. So we're just gonna run same setup. Nothing major here.
Stand by.
That one.
Cat 1.
So we're gonna turn on our radar. There we go. And now the Iowa is not being freaky about anything. Just try not to crash into it, and we'll switch on the autopilot. And hopefully now the
Waypoint Bravo, bearing
timing's gonna be better.
120,
Okay.
Angel
So
30.
at least as of right now, they aren't showing up. We aren't receiving RWR pings from them, because they're actually far enough away. So we can kind of just watch this at the 8x acceleration.
Contact your 3 o'clock high, 7 miles. Please advise. Speed west.
Just feet wet now. Alright, so up there they are. But I still didn't move them back far enough, it seems, but we will turn our afterburners and move to engage. And it looks like they're all lined up nice for us. So we're going to... Okay, so these guys are still at range. So I want one good shot. So we can use 2 Phoenixes to get good shots on flanker winkers here. And then we can then look into probably shooting 2 Phoenixes at a single backfire with maybe a 15-second delay. That way we can try to take one of them down completely. And once we have these long-range missiles out, then I'd be more inclined, certainly, to let my wingman engage. I don't... Actually, we can let him engage now. Because he's probably not going to be in range for the flanker winker. Well, he'll be in range... Yeah, he's firing at his Phoenixes at the flankers, which I'm guessing that first missile must have missed by now. It should have hit him by now if it was going to. And we're almost within range of these backfires here. Hey, our wingman got one. Okay, a little early, but
Anchor, Fox 1.
Okay, so I don't know if we got one or if our wingman got one. Double shaft. Okay, so this guy is still... Alright, so sidekick hit him for hitting him back. Is it gonna hit? We got him. Alright, looks like our wingman got hit with the guy with a short range missile, but we can send actually disengage. Let's wait until there's a bit more. Here we go. There we go. Now we'll move into range. Ooh, our wingman. So our wingman finished off one of the bombers that we had hit with only one of our Phoenix missiles, unfortunately. You can see here they're trying to fly tight, but we aren't. Oops, sorry. One more thing to do here. I have to do that. There we go. Ooh, we got a nice side shot here, so that's a good radar return there. We'll free our wingman to attack anyone. Alright, we got a good hit, Yeah, unfortunately the Tomcat doesn't come with a built-in IR seeker according to the game. So we can't designate it, but I mean, technically the Sidewinder should work. It's supposed to be able to target independent of us. You know, obviously having a sensor on board the Q, it helps, but otherwise it's just supposed to track the hottest thing in front of it. So we'll wait until we're at about 1.8 nautical miles and 5. Good track, good track. All right. Ooh, that was close. We almost sheared off our. Ow. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. Was getting perfectly behind him. I kind of wanted to get him at an angle. There we go. Now this is what I wanted. There we go. And we'll loop on over and try to take out that other backfire, which, oh, there's our wingman. Should be another backfire, I thought. Aha, you fool. It was all part of my master plan. Is there another backfire, or did we get them all? Oh, if we didn't, he's over here.
Bullseye!
I think... Is he tail... Oh, he's tailing one, I think. I see 2 different aircraft there. Yeah, for the next version of this mission, we will have an AWACS, so I can keep up with what the hell's going on. There we go. There we go. So he's trying to evade. That's our wingman. And fire! Bad track. Oh, I got him. Okay. There we go. And now you can see our victory conditions have kicked in. We have completed our mission. Obviously, all the things that are supposed to be dead are dead, and all the things that are supposed to be alive are alive. So, we can now kick back with our wingman and return to the carrier for landing qualifications. So we're going to egress here, and you can see the carrier has moved a bit, not quite as much maybe as they will once we finalize the scenario in the next episode or two. But they certainly aren't at Waypoint Foxtrot anymore. Which, that should be fine. It should automatically adjust for that. But it's been a while since I've done this, so we'll see for sure. And since we did this at sunrise, you can see that beautiful sun coming up.
Proceed to Waypoint Echo, bearing 359. Descend to Angel 10.
So now we are at the RTB waypoint.
Inbound to Waypoint Foxtrot.
We should be entering the pattern now.
Angel 0, cleared away.
Oh,
We're
shit.
almost home.
It chose the wrong, the wrong fucking,
Keep driving.
thing to land on. Alright. Well, our wingman will land where we land, so. There we go. We'll put our flaps down. Our navigation mode now, and we will enter the pattern. And now I'm starting to realize it was a mistake having us start by going east. Oh man. There we go. So let's lower our throttle a bit. Didn't give us landing clearance yet. Oh, there it is.
Cleared
I know.
away.
And there it is officially. Alright, let's ease back the throttle a little bit. Obviously, we can work on optimizing our spacing here a little bit.
Wind at 7 knots. Lower your hook.
Oh, fuck, it's been so while since
Miles.
I did a carrier landing. I completely forgot
Go
about
left.
that part. Roger, going
Go
to
left.
port.
Higher. Too much bank. Steady. Lower.
Alright.
Lower. Call the ball. Lower. On the ball.
Alright, there it is.
Steady. Lower. Lower. Lower.
Alright,
Lower.
coming in.
Lower. Good landing.
Woo! Good landing. What wire did we catch? We caught the number 3 wire. Nice. Or is it? Or I think it's the number 2. I think they start counting from the back to front. But in any case, let's clear things up so our wingman can land, and we'll see how good his landing is. So I think if we play, I guess from what I'm seeing from how the landing waypoint works is it must work closest to, like, be the closest air landing strip to the waypoint at the time you reach it. So I'm guessing if I move that further east, then it should select the carrier as the landing point once it moves over there. Alright. There we go. I think this is the spot our wingman's gonna take, but, well, sucks to be him. Because we're there first. So, yep, you can see now our wingman is landing at, with us on the carrier. And there he goes. Fair landing. And he's gonna... Oh! He didn't park inside us. He parked on the other hangar. Alright, that's cool. Nice. Ah, that's completely wrong. You're right. There we go. That's all we had to change. Gotta get that perfecto thumbnail screenshot. But yeah, there we go. So now we can just end the mission like any other. Hey there. Look, I know you want me to take off again, but we're done, dude. We're done. We get that beautiful Tycho keeping pace with our carrier there. See harpoons on the back and the standard. Okay, so they simulate the forward gun turret at least. It almost looks like they don't simulate the rear turret. That looks like a standard missile launcher there. And that's obviously a harpoon block, but I don't see the rear 5-inch gun. Interesting. Anyways. But you can see it's perfectly keeping pace with us, and I love that. Likewise, all this stuff, you know, might be a little too close for comfort, but it is keeping pace perfectly. Actually, this might be a better view. Oh yeah, sure enough, they do not simulate the 5-inch gun. Weird. In any case, though, we can end the mission here. So we get a very generic debriefing with just the stats, since again we don't have a special debriefing set up yet, but we can see we destroyed 4 targets, protected 7 friendly targets. Holy shit, we got a landing rate of 100%. Look at that. I don't know if I've ever hit 100% before. Maybe I have, but it's been so long. And to hit 100% after being away, like the last time we did carrier ops on the regular was Ukraine. Cattle bar carrier ops, at least. I know there were like 1 or 2 single missions where we did carrier ops, but damn, it's been like a year. Oh god, it's been so long. But maybe even 2 years now. I don't even know. Don't know. Not off the top of my head, at least. I know I could look it up, but not going to do that right now. But we took 2% damage just from the I guess we must have taken a single round from the 23mm tail cannon on the backfire. Whereas I think our wingman took an archer missile to the face, so he's got 44% damage. And he's got a lower landing rate of 46%, but the AI typically averages around 50% anyway, so probably just so the player can feel superior. Superior landing man. We had 2... Oh, okay, so we did end up with 2 flanker kills and 2 backfire kills. So I guess some of our missiles got there before our wingmans. Our wingman had 1 flanker kill, and he finished off the 2 backfires. And overall, so of our 8 missiles, 6 hit, 1 failed, 1 was spoofed. So that's not too bad a success rate versus what we've seen in the past. And it looks like our wingman has the same success rate of... except he had 2 failed, which I'm guessing at least one of those was probably a quote-unquote failure induced by us destroying a target before him. Obviously nothing for air to ground. As far as gun goes, he had a better hit percentage than us, but I was sure that was the last bomber, and he had like 1 hit point left, so I was too concerned about accuracy or conserving ammunition. Obviously... just looking at what the AI was able to do to us, their fighters got 2 missiles off on me and 1 on my wingman. The 1 on my wingman hit. Maybe it was an adder then. They only got 3 off total, but we managed to spoof both their adders on us with chaff, and then their tail gunner got a single hit on me by the looks of it, and they tried to shoot at my wingman, but it looks like he was pretty proficient at dodging him, so good job, wingman. Proud of you. And I think that's going to conclude the first part of this single mission tutorial, or pro mission tutorial, as it were. So next time I'm going to try to get into more advanced stuff. We'll make more corrections to this scenario. We'll add in probably a Hawkeye. We'll move the enemy further out. We'll add in maybe a Seahawk to, you know, provide maybe one Seahawk on ASW patrol qualifications and another on pilot rescue and plane guard qualifications. But yeah, I look forward to that next week. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.